everybody, my name's Laura. Welcome to my raw kitchen, and what I'm doing today is I'm making beet salad, and I have all my ingredients laid out here to show you. So what I'm going to start off with this salad is the kale. I've cut up some purple kale. Now sometimes what I really like to use for this recipe is the actual beet leaves, which are like the long stems that you see at the end of a beet, and that's what I really like to use, but cannot find those in the stores right now. They're just beets without the beet root to it. So kale is another option that works really well for this, so I decided to use the purple kale. And I'm going to add some parsley with scallions added to that. And I decided to add some of the black rice, the black wild rice that you can sprout. And interestingly enough, I really don't usually put that into the recipe, but I decided that I had a little bit of it left and I was just going to use it. And I had somebody one time, I can't think of what her name is right now, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, but she had asked me about that rice, and you know, I use it quite a bit and I've never really had trouble soaking it, but sometimes people really like to see that that sort of sprout when it kind of, it just kind of breaks open. And I figured out that when you put it in the food processor first before you soak it, that kind of breaks it up. It will not break it to where you're going to see it break because the rice is still really hard. You want to put it in before you actually soak it. But when you soak it, you will notice that it will really sprout or pop open the way that it does a lot easier that way. So this was just a trick that I learned from another raw vegan friend on YouTube, and it makes the soaking time a lot less anyway. And I know some people mentioned putting it out in the sun, and I've never tried that, but this way really worked. And also I'm going to be using, this is the main ingredient, is the beets. And the way that you get the beets like this is you want to use your food processor, and you want to use this piece in your food processor, and that will make it to where it just kind of chops it the way that you would like it for this recipe. And I'm also just going to throw some clover sprouts in there. These are just things that I have. Throw these together in the bowl. But the really good part of this recipe, actually, I always have way too much kale. I don't think I need all of that. Is making the tahini dressing, which this dressing that I'm going to put together, it has tahini, it also has hemp seeds, and it's delicious. But there's something about the mixture of this dressing with the beet that just gives it a really terrific taste. So I'm going to throw that on the top and throw in some of this parsley around it, parsley and scallion. And some of the rice. And I'm just going to throw in a little bit of my clover sprouts. And I'm going to show you what I'm using. So I'm going to use a zucchini squash, which I have that cut up here, and I'm going to use 2 dates, which I have soaking in there. And you can use a tahini that's made by Gopal's. It's really good. It is raw, and it's gluten-free and vegan. I do sometimes use this, but today I'm going to use just regular sesame seeds. But some people would rather just use the already made up. Sometimes I like just the regular sesame seeds. I do both. It just depends on what I'm making. And I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of the hemp seeds and some Himalayan salt and a clove of garlic in there. So what I do is I just throw all these ingredients into my small blender, just like this. To get the pits out of there. Oh, they are out. Nice and soft.